Dive into English, swimming conversations. Hi Beatrix, how are you doing today?
Hi Richard. I'm doing well, thanks. Just excited about the swimming competition next week. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I've been looking forward to this competition. Have you been training much?
Yes, I've been in the pool every day. It's been tough but fun. Swimming really is a great workout. What's your favorite stroke?
I'm a big fan of freestyle. It's fast and efficient. But I've been trying to improve my butterfly stroke. It's challenging but rewarding. How about you?
I love the backstroke. It's relaxing and helps me keep a steady pace. Plus, looking up at the sky while swimming is quite a view.
That sounds peaceful. Speaking of which, how do you prepare mentally for a race?
Good question. I usually visualize the race in my mind and focus on my breathing. It helps to calm my nerves. And you?
Similar to you, I visualize and also listen to some motivating music before the race. It pumps me up.
Music is a great idea. Do you have any tips for improving swimming speed?
Well, I focus a lot on my technique and make sure I'm doing strength training as well. Consistency is key. How do you keep improving?
I work closely with my coach to tweak my technique, and I also watch videos of professional swimmers to learn from their form.
That's smart. Watching professionals can be really inspiring. Do you follow any specific diet for your training?
Definitely. I eat lots of lean protein and carbohydrates for energy. Staying hydrated is crucial too. What about you?
Pretty much the same. Nutrition plays a huge role in performance. Oh, and getting enough sleep is also a priority for me.
Absolutely, rest is part of the training too. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing you at the competition. Best of luck.
Thanks, Beatrix. Good luck to you too. Let's give it our best shot. Everyday English. Learn to talk about time of day. Does Oscar eat breakfast every morning? Yes, Oscar eats breakfast every morning. What time does Emma wake up in the morning? Emma wakes up at 7 a.m. in the morning. Is it sunny in the morning in California? Yes, it is often sunny in the morning in California. What does Oscar do at noon? Oscar usually has lunch at noon. Does Emma work in the office at noon? Yes, Emma works in the office at noon. Is it busy in London at noon? Yes, it is usually busy in London at noon. What do Oscar and Emma do in the evening? Oscar and Emma often watch TV in the evening. Is it cold in the evening in Canada? Yes, it can be very cold in the evening in Canada. Do restaurants in Italy open in the evening? Yes, restaurants in Italy open in the evening. Do Oscar and Emma sleep well at night? Yes, they usually sleep well at night. Is it safe to walk at night in Tokyo? Yes, it's generally safe to walk at night in Tokyo. Are the stars visible at night in the countryside? Yes, the stars are often visible at night in the countryside. What does Oscar do during the day? Oscar works at his job during the day. Does Emma go to school every day? Yes, Emma goes to school every day. Is the weather warm during the day in Spain? Yes, the weather is often warm during the day in Spain. How many days are in a week? There are 7 days in a week. Does Emma play tennis every week? Yes, Emma plays tennis once a week. Do Oscar and Emma travel on the weekends? Sometimes Oscar and Emma travel on the weekends. How many months are in a year? There are 12 months in a year. How many days are in a year? There are 365 days in a year, except in a leap year. Do Oscar and Emma take a vacation every year? Yes, they take a vacation once a year. Will Oscar and Emma live in France for their whole lifetime? No, they will not live in France for their whole lifetime, just a few years. Is it important to learn English in your lifetime? Yes, it is very important to learn English in your lifetime. I hope these examples are useful for your English learning. Thanks for watching.
A nature walk adventure, learning English outdoors. Hey Beatrix, isn't it a beautiful day for a nature walk?
It really is, Richard. I'm so glad we decided to do this. The weather is perfect.
Absolutely. So, have you been on many nature walks before?
Not as many as I'd like. But I do enjoy them whenever I get the chance. What about you?
Oh, I try to go hiking at least once a month. It's my way of disconnecting and recharging.
That's a great habit. Nature has so much to offer. What's your favorite part about hiking?
I love the tranquility of it all. The sounds of the birds, the rustle of leaves underfoot, and the fresh air. It's refreshing. And you?
For me, it's the views. Reaching the top of a hill and looking out over the landscape. It's breathtaking.
Indeed it is. Oh, look at that bird over there. Do you know what kind it is?
I think that's a robin. They're pretty common around here. Have you seen any wildlife on your hikes?
Yes, quite a few times. Deer, foxes, and once I even saw a badger.
Wow, that must have been exciting. I've only ever seen deer from a distance.
It was. Every hike brings something new. That's what I love about it. You never know what you'll encounter.
True. And it's a great way to learn and practice English too, talking about all these experiences.
Absolutely. Describing the scenery, the animals, and the whole adventure really helps with language skills.
Speaking of which, I've been trying to improve my vocabulary. Can you teach me some nature-related words today?
Of course. Let's start with flora and fauna. Flora refers to plant life, and fauna to animal life in a region.
Flora and fauna. Got it. This is fun. What else can you teach me?
How about terrain? It refers to the landscape, whether it's rocky, wooded, or mountainous.
Terrain, that's a useful word. This is making the hike even more enjoyable.
I'm glad to hear that. Learning in nature, there's nothing quite like it.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to our next nature walk already.
Me too, Beatrix. Me too. Let's make this a regular thing.
Agreed. And let's keep learning and exploring together.
A Day in the Park, Oscar and Nancy's English Adventure. Hi there. This bench seems to be the only one not taken. Mind if I sit here?
Of course not, please do. It's a lovely day to be in the park, isn't it?
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. The weather is perfect. By the way, I'm Oscar.
Nice to meet you, Oscar. I'm Nancy. Do you come to this park often?
Not as much as I'd like, but whenever the weather is nice, I try to visit. It's great for a bit of relaxation. How about you?
This is my go-to spot for reading. The tranquility here is unmatched.
What book are you reading, if you don't mind me asking?
It's a novel about an adventure through Europe. Very captivating. And you? What brings you here today?
Just needed to clear my head. Walking in the park always helps. Plus, I enjoy people watching. You can learn a lot about life just by observing.
That's quite true. Sometimes, I find the stories unfolding around us more intriguing than the ones in books.
Couldn't agree more. Speaking of stories, have you lived in this city long?
Yes, most of my life. It's changed a lot, but I love it. What about you? Are you a local?
I moved here a couple of years ago for work. Still discovering new things about the city.
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? Always something new to discover.
Exactly. Do you have any recommendations for places to explore?
Definitely. There's a little cafe not far from here, hidden away. It's a gem. I'll write it down for you.
Thanks, Nancy. I'll check it out. Maybe you'd like to join me there sometime?
I'd like that. It's always nice to make new friends, especially in such a big city.
Great, it's a plan then. Here's my number. Let's keep in touch.
Will do, Oscar. Looking forward to it.
Same here. Well, I should get going. But I'm glad we met today, Nancy.
Me too, Oscar. Enjoy the rest of your day in the park.
You too, Nancy. Bye for now.
You too, Nancy. Bye for now.
Exploring the farm, animals and agriculture basics. What does a farmer do? A farmer grows crops and raises animals. What animals can you find on a farm? You can find animals like cows, sheep, and chickens on a farm. What is agriculture? Agriculture is the practice of farming, including growing crops and raising animals. Why are cows important on a farm? Cows are important for milk and sometimes for meat. What do we get from chickens? We get eggs and meat from chickens. What is a baby sheep called? A baby sheep is called a lamb. Can you ride a horse? Yes, you can ride a horse. What do goats eat? Goats eat plants like grass, herbs, and shrubs. What is wool and where does it come from? Wool is a soft fiber that comes from animals like sheep. What sound does a rooster make? A rooster says cock-a-doodle-doo. Why do farmers grow crops? Farmers grow crops for food and to sell. What is a baby cow called? A baby cow is called a calf. How do farmers help feed us? Farmers grow food and raise animals that provide us with food. Where do pigs live on a farm? Pigs live in a pen on the farm. What do we call a female horse? A female horse is called a mare. What animal gives us milk? Cows give us milk. How does a goat sound? A goat says ba or ma. What is a baby goat called? A baby goat is called a kid. What is the main job of a sheepdog? The main job of a sheepdog is to help herd sheep. What do farmers use tractors for? Farmers use tractors for plowing fields and moving heavy items. English conversation, dreaming of a summer house, simple and engaging. Hey Jessica, have you heard about the new summer houses on sale by the lake?
Oh, hi Cedric. Yes, I saw them online. They look amazing, don't they?
Absolutely. I'm actually thinking of buying one. It's been a dream of mine to have a summer house by the lake.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. What kind of house are you looking for?
Well, I'd love a place with a nice view, maybe 2 bedrooms, and a cozy living area. Nothing too big.
Sounds perfect for relaxing weekends. Are these houses expensive?
They vary. Some are quite affordable. I'm planning to visit a few this weekend. Would you like to come along?
I'd love to. It would be great to see them in person.
Great. I also think it's a good investment. The area is becoming popular.
Definitely. Plus, it's a perfect place for summer barbecues and stargazing.
Exactly. I can already imagine hosting barbecues and having friends over.
And don't forget the peaceful mornings, just sitting by the lake with a cup of coffee.
That sounds like a dream. I hope I find the right place.
With so many options, I'm sure you will. I can't wait to see them.
Thanks, Jessica. It's great to have a friend to share this excitement with.
Anytime, Cedric. It's going to be an adventure.
A day in London, the ultimate tourist experience. What is Big Ben? Big Ben is a famous clock tower in London. Where is the Tower of London? The Tower of London is in central London, near the River Thames. Who lives in Buckingham Palace? The Queen of England lives in Buckingham Palace. What is the London Eye? The London Eye is a large Ferris wheel in London. Why is Stonehenge famous? Stonehenge is famous for its mysterious stone circle. What can you see in the British Museum? You can see historical artifacts from around the world in the British Museum. Is the River Thames long? Yes, the River Thames is quite long, flowing through London. What city is the capital of England? London is the capital city of England. Can you visit the Houses of Parliament in London? Yes, you can visit the Houses of Parliament on certain days. What is the name of London's famous bridge? The famous bridge in London is called Tower Bridge. Is Edinburgh Castle in England? No, Edinburgh Castle is in Scotland. What is the famous clock in London? The famous clock in London is Big Ben. Can you see the crown jewels in London? Yes, you can see the crown jewels at the Tower of London. What is a double-decker bus? A double-decker bus is a bus with 2 levels, common in London. Who was Shakespeare? Shakespeare was a famous English playwright and poet. Where is the Globe Theatre? The Globe Theatre is in London, near the River Thames. What is a red telephone box? A red telephone box is a famous British telephone booth. Where is the National Gallery? The National Gallery is in Trafalgar Square, London. Can you ride a boat on the River Thames? Yes, you can take boat trips on the River Thames. What is Hyde Park? Hyde Park is a large park in London.
Discover the joys of park life, activities and peaceful moments. What does Michael like to do in the park? Michael likes to play soccer in the park. Where does Jessica read her book? Jessica reads her book on a bench in the park. Can you have picnics in the park? Yes, you can have picnics on the grass in the park. Are dogs allowed in the park? In many parks, dogs are allowed and can play freely. What do children do in the park? Children often play on swings and slides in the park. Is it peaceful to sit in the park? Yes, sitting in the park can be very peaceful and relaxing. How often does Michael jog in the park? Michael jogs in the park every morning. Does Jessica like to watch birds in the park? Yes, Jessica enjoys watching different birds in the park. Are there flowers in the park during summer? The park is usually full of colorful flowers in the summer. Can you ride bicycles in the park? Yes, riding bicycles on the paths in the park is a popular activity. Do many people visit the park on weekends? Yes, the park is a popular place for people on weekends. What can you see around the park pond? Around the pond, you can see ducks and sometimes fish. Is the park a good place for a family outing? The park is an excellent place for family outings and fun. Can you play music in the park? Yes, but you should keep the volume low to not disturb others. What games do Michael and Jessica play in the park? They often play frisbee or badminton in the park. Is it safe to walk in the park at night? It depends on the park, but some have lights and are safe at night. Can you find benches in the park? Yes, there are usually many benches to sit and relax on. Do people celebrate birthdays in the park? Yes, people often celebrate with outdoor parties in the park. What should you bring to the park on a sunny day? On a sunny day, bring water, a hat, and sunscreen to the park. Are there walking trails in the park? Most parks have walking trails for exercise and enjoyment.
A beautiful conversation in a flower-filled garden. Hello, Jennifer. What a beautiful day it is to be in the garden, isn't it?
Hi, George. It truly is. The flowers look especially vibrant today. Do you have a favorite flower here?
I think I'm quite fond of the roses. Their colors are so vivid and they have such a sweet fragrance. How about you?
I adore the tulips. They remind me of spring and new beginnings. Plus, the variety of colors is simply amazing.
That's a lovely choice. Gardens always have a way of making one feel peaceful and at ease. Do you come here often?
Yes, I try to visit whenever I can. It's my little escape from the hustle and bustle of the city. It's so calming to be surrounded by nature. What brings you here?
I come here to find inspiration. I'm an amateur photographer, and gardens like this are perfect for practicing.
That's wonderful. Photography is such a fascinating hobby. Capturing moments and the beauty of nature must be very fulfilling.
It really is. There's something about looking at the world through a lens that makes you appreciate the small details. Do you have any hobbies?
I do. I enjoy painting. Recently, I've been trying to paint landscapes and gardens, actually.
That sounds incredible. Painting requires so much creativity and patience. Have you been painting long?
I started a few years ago. It's a process of learning and growing, much like the flowers in this garden.
What a beautiful way to put it. I think hobbies like ours help us connect with the world in a deeper way.
I couldn't agree more. Speaking of the world, do you have a favorite place you've photographed?
I really loved capturing the beaches of Hawaii. The colors of the sunset there were unlike anything I've ever seen.
That sounds breathtaking. I've always wanted to visit Hawaii. The beaches, the culture, and the landscapes seem so unique.
Definitely worth a visit. Maybe you'll find inspiration for your next painting there.
Maybe I will. George, it's been delightful talking to you in this beautiful garden.
Likewise, Jennifer. Enjoy the rest of your time here and maybe I'll see you around again.
I hope so. Have a great day, George.
You too, Jennifer. Take care.
Discover the Amazon, Basic English Vocabulary Exploration. What is the Amazon rainforest? The Amazon rainforest is a large tropical forest in South America. Where is the Amazon located? The Amazon is located in South America, mainly in Brazil. Why is the Amazon important? The Amazon is important because it has a lot of biodiversity and helps with the Earth's oxygen. What animals live in the Amazon? Animals like jaguars, monkeys, and toucans live in the Amazon. Does it rain a lot in the Amazon? Yes, it rains a lot in the Amazon, making it a rainforest. Are there many trees in the Amazon? Yes, the Amazon has millions of trees. Is the Amazon the biggest rainforest? Yes, the Amazon is the biggest rainforest in the world. What is deforestation in the Amazon? Deforestation in the Amazon is when trees are cut down and the land is used for other things. Why should we protect the Amazon? We should protect the Amazon because it is home to many plants and animals. Can people visit the Amazon? Yes, people can visit the Amazon, but they need to be careful and respect nature. What is the climate like in the Amazon? The climate in the Amazon is hot and humid. Do many rivers flow through the Amazon? Yes, many rivers, including the Amazon River, flow through the rainforest. Are there tribes living in the Amazon? Yes, there are indigenous tribes that live in the Amazon. What plants grow in the Amazon? Many plants, including medicinal plants and large trees, grow in the Amazon. Is the Amazon rainforest in danger? Yes, the Amazon rainforest faces threats like deforestation and climate change. What can we do to help the Amazon? We can help the Amazon by planting trees and reducing our carbon footprint. How big is the Amazon rainforest? The Amazon rainforest is very large, covering over 5 million square kilometers. What is the Amazon River famous for? The Amazon River is famous for being one of the longest rivers in the world. Are there many insects in the Amazon? Yes, there are many insects, including mosquitoes, in the Amazon. Why is the Amazon called the lungs of the earth? The Amazon is called the lungs of the earth because its trees produce a lot of oxygen.
Speak like a native, basic English sentences for daily use. Does Michael like coffee? Michael does not like coffee. Do you speak English? Yes, I speak English. Where is Jessica from? Jessica is from Canada. What do they study? They study history. Do we need to book a hotel? Yes, we need to book a hotel. When does Michael go to work? Michael goes to work at 9 a.m. How do you travel to France? I travel to France by plane. What does Jessica eat for breakfast? Jessica eats eggs for breakfast. Where do they live? They live in Australia. Why do we learn English? We learn English to communicate with people from different countries. Does Michael play football? No, Michael does not play football. Do you have a pet? Yes, I have a dog. What book is Jessica reading? Jessica is reading a novel. Who are they visiting in Germany? They are visiting their friends in Germany. When do we have English class? We have English class on Mondays and Wednesdays. What does Michael watch on TV? Michael watches documentaries on TV. How do you make tea? I make tea by boiling water and adding a tea bag. Where does Jessica work? Jessica works in a school. Why do they like summer? They like summer because of the warm weather. Can we go to London next year? Yes, we can plan a trip to London next year.
The joy of watching documentaries on a big screen TV. Hey Jennifer, did you catch that new documentary about the Scottish Highlands on TV last night?
Hi George. Yes, I did. I watched it on my new big screen TV. The scenery was absolutely breathtaking.
That's great. I love documentaries that explore nature and different cultures. What did you think about the cinematography?
It was stunning. Watching it on a big screen made me feel like I was right there, wandering through the hills and valleys of Scotland.
I can imagine. I've always been fascinated by Scotland's history and its natural beauty. Did the documentary cover any historical aspects?
It did, actually. It delved into the history of the clans and the famous battles that took place in those regions. Quite informative.
Sounds like my kind of show. I have a keen interest in history, especially European history. It's amazing how documentaries can bring these stories to life.
Absolutely. And the music in the background, traditional Scottish tunes, added so much to the overall experience.
Music plays such a vital role in setting the tone. I'm curious, have you watched any other good documentaries recently?
Yes, I watched one about the Italian Renaissance. It was fascinating to see how art, culture, and science evolved during that period.
That sounds intriguing. The Renaissance was such a pivotal time in history. Did they mention any specific artists or inventors?
They did. There was a significant focus on Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. Their contributions were not just artistic, but also scientific.
Oh, I've heard about that one. It's on my list. The ocean is a whole different realm that we know so little about.
Oh, I've heard about that one. It's on my list. The ocean is a whole different realm that we know so little about.
True. Documentaries are like windows to the world, allowing us to explore places we've never been. By the way, have you ever been to any of these places?
Not really, but I'd love to visit Scotland someday. The documentary has definitely piqued my interest.
Traveling is another great way to learn. I hope you get to visit Scotland. It's a beautiful country with a rich history.
Thanks, George. I hope so too. Well, I should head off now. Let's catch up soon and maybe swap more documentary recommendations.
Absolutely, Jennifer. Take care, and happy watching.
You too, George. Bye.
Blooming English, learning language in the garden. What type of flowers does Linda plant in her garden? Linda plants roses and daisies in her garden. Where does Pascal work? Pascal works at a flower shop in London. How often should I water my garden? You should water your garden every 2 to 3 days. Can we grow tulips in Canada? Yes, you can grow tulips in Canada during the spring. What flowers are good for beginners to plant? Sunflowers and marigolds are good for beginners to plant. Does Linda make bouquets at the florist? Yes, Linda makes bouquets at the florist. What tools do I need for gardening? You need a shovel, rake, and watering can for gardening. When do cherry blossoms bloom in Japan? Cherry blossoms in Japan usually bloom in April. How long do sunflowers take to grow? Sunflowers take about 3 months to grow. Where is the largest flower garden located? The largest flower garden is located in Dubai. What is the national flower of England? The national flower of England is the rose. Can Pascal arrange flowers for a wedding? Yes, Pascal can arrange flowers for a wedding. Why are bees important to gardens? Bees are important because they help pollinate the flowers. What is a greenhouse? A greenhouse is a glass building used to grow plants. How do you prune a rose bush? You prune a rose bush by cutting back the dead branches. What is the best season to plant a garden in France? The best season to plant a garden in France is spring. Can flowers grow in the shade? Some flowers, like impatiens, can grow in the shade. How do you stop pests in your garden? You can stop pests by using natural repellents. What is compost used for? Compost is used to enrich the soil in gardens. Why do people visit the Keukenhof Gardens in the Netherlands? People visit the Keukenhof Gardens to see the beautiful tulip displays.
Daily routine in English simple examples. Does Simon brush his teeth every morning? Yes, Simon brushes his teeth every morning. What does Olivia do after she wakes up? After she wakes up, Olivia drinks a glass of water. Where does Simon buy his groceries? Simon buys his groceries at the local supermarket in London. How often does Olivia exercise? Olivia exercises 3 times a week. What time does Simon usually have breakfast? Simon usually has breakfast at 7:30 a.m. Does Olivia read a book before bed? Yes, Olivia reads a book before bed every night. How does Simon get to work in New York? Simon takes the subway to get to work in New York. What does Olivia cook for dinner? Olivia often cooks pasta for dinner. Where does Simon like to have his coffee? Simon likes to have his coffee at a cafe in Paris. What type of movies does Olivia enjoy watching? Olivia enjoys watching romantic comedies. Everyday conversations. Basic English. Does Simon watch TV in the evening? Yes, Simon watches TV in the evening. How does Olivia travel to Berlin? Olivia travels to Berlin by train. What does Simon do on weekends? On weekends, Simon goes for a walk in the park. Who does Olivia meet for lunch on Sundays? Olivia meets her friends for lunch on Sundays. What kind of music does Simon listen to? Simon listens to pop music. Where does Olivia buy her clothes? Olivia buys her clothes at a shopping mall in Dublin. What time does Simon start his work? Simon starts his work at 9 a.m. How does Olivia relax after work? Olivia relaxes by doing yoga after work. Where does Simon go on his vacations? Simon goes to beaches in Australia on his vacations. Does Olivia like to garden? Yes, Olivia likes to garden in her backyard. Simple English for daily activities. What does Simon eat for lunch? Simon eats a sandwich for lunch. Why does Olivia visit the museum in Rome? Olivia visits the museum in Rome to see historical art. When does Simon go to bed? Simon goes to bed at 11 p.m. What does Olivia do on her phone? Olivia checks her emails on her phone. Where does Simon spend his Christmas holidays? Simon spends his Christmas holidays in Canada with his family. Does Olivia like to swim? Yes, Olivia likes to swim at the beach in summer. What language is Simon learning? Simon is learning to speak Spanish. How often does Olivia visit her grandparents? Olivia visits her grandparents once a month. Where does Simon walk his dog? Simon walks his dog in the park near his house in Sydney. Does Olivia like to cook? Yes, Olivia likes to cook Italian dishes.
The Stone Bridge, a conversation filled with knowledge. Hello, Jennifer. Fancy meeting you here on this old stone bridge.
Hi, George. Yes, it's quite a coincidence. I love coming here for the view and the history. How about you?
Same here. It's fascinating to think about all the people who have crossed this bridge over the years.
Absolutely. Did you know this bridge was built in the 18th century and is one of the oldest in the region?
Really? That's quite impressive. It's amazing how it has stood the test of time.
Indeed. It's a testament to the craftsmanship of that era. I read that it was a major trade route back in the day.
That makes sense. Bridges like this one were crucial for commerce and travel in the past.
Exactly. And it's not just about utility, the design is so artistic. Look at the intricate stonework.
You're right. The details are incredible. It's like a piece of art as much as a piece of engineering.
Speaking of art, have you noticed the sculptures at each end of the bridge?
Yes, I have. They add such a unique character to it. Do you know the story behind them?
I do, actually. They represent the guardians of the bridge, meant to protect travelers as they pass.
That's fascinating. It adds a whole new layer to the bridge's history.
It does. And it's a great reminder of how structures like this bridge are more than just functional, they're steeped in history and culture.
Absolutely. It's amazing how something as simple as a bridge can tell us so much about the past.
I couldn't agree more. It's like a journey through time. Well, I should get going. It was great talking to you, George.
Likewise, Jennifer. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, take care. Beginner's Guide to English for Travel, Essential Phrases and Tips. Where is Oscar going on his holiday? Oscar is going to London for his holiday. What does Fiona like to do in her free time? Fiona likes to travel and see new places. How often does Oscar go to the cinema? Oscar goes to the cinema once a month. What is Fiona's favorite city to visit in Europe? Fiona's favorite city to visit in Europe is Paris. Why do people travel to different countries? People travel to learn about new cultures and enjoy different experiences. Can Oscar speak French? No, Oscar can only speak English. What does Fiona pack in her suitcase for a trip? Fiona packs clothes, a camera, and a map in her suitcase. Where did Oscar go on his last vacation? Oscar went to New York on his last vacation. How does Fiona prefer to travel, by plane or by train? Fiona prefers to travel by train. What is Oscar's favorite thing about traveling? Oscar's favorite thing about traveling is trying new food. Why does Fiona learn Spanish? Fiona learns Spanish for her trip to Spain. How does Oscar find his way in a new city? Oscar uses a map to find his way in a new city. What does Fiona buy as souvenirs? Fiona buys postcards and magnets as souvenirs. Why does Oscar like to visit museums? Oscar likes to visit museums to learn about history. What is Fiona's favorite beach destination? Fiona's favorite beach destination is Miami. How does Oscar save money for his trips? Oscar saves money by working part-time and budgeting. What is the best season to visit London, according to Fiona? Fiona thinks the best season to visit London is spring. Why does Oscar prefer hotels over hostels? Oscar prefers hotels because they are more comfortable. How long did Fiona's last European trip last? Fiona's last European trip lasted 2 weeks. What does Oscar always bring back from his travels? Oscar always brings back photos and memories from his travels. Travel Smart, essential tips for first-time travelers. Where can I find a travel agency in New York? There's a travel agency on Main Street in New York. How do I book a tour in London? You can book a tour at the tourism office in London. What is the best way to travel around Australia? The best way to travel around Australia is by train or bus. Can Fiona get a city map at the tourism office in Paris? Yes, Fiona can get a city map at the tourism office in Paris. How much does it cost to travel from Canada to Spain? The cost varies, but you can check with a travel agency for the best price. Is there a direct flight from Tokyo to Los Angeles? Yes, there are direct flights from Tokyo to Los Angeles. What should Luther pack for his trip to Germany? Luther should pack clothes, a camera, and a travel guide for Germany. Can you recommend a good hotel in Rome? The Star Hotel in Rome is highly recommended. How safe is it to travel to Brazil? It's relatively safe, but always check current travel advisories. What are the top tourist attractions in London? The top tourist attractions in London include the British Museum and the Tower of London. Does Fiona need a visa to visit Japan? It depends on her nationality, but many visitors need a visa for Japan. What's the best season to visit New Zealand? The best season to visit New Zealand is during their summer, from December to February. How can I find cheap flights to Italy? You can find cheap flights to Italy by searching online or contacting a travel agency. What language do they speak in South Africa? They speak several languages, including English and Afrikaans in South Africa. Can Luther rent a car in London? Yes, Luther can rent a car in London if he has a valid driver's license. Are there guided tours in the Grand Canyon? Yes, there are many guided tours available in the Grand Canyon. How do I use public transport in Berlin? You can use a travel card for buses and trains in Berlin. What are the best places to eat in Paris? There are many great places to eat in Paris, especially in the Montmartre district. Is it expensive to travel in Canada? Travel costs in Canada vary, but it can be quite affordable with planning. What should tourists know about visiting Egypt? Tourists should know about the historical sites and local customs in Egypt. Beginner's Guide to English for Travel, Essential Phrases and Tips. Where is Oscar going on his holiday? Oscar is going to London for his holiday. What does Fiona like to do in her free time? Fiona likes to travel and see new places. How often does Oscar go to the cinema? Oscar goes to the cinema once a month. What is Fiona's favorite city to visit in Europe? Fiona's favorite city to visit in Europe is Paris. Why do people travel to different countries? People travel to learn about new cultures and enjoy different experiences. Can Oscar speak French? No, Oscar can only speak English. What does Fiona pack in her suitcase for a trip? Fiona packs clothes, a camera, and a map in her suitcase. Where did Oscar go on his last vacation? Oscar went to New York on his last vacation. How does Fiona prefer to travel, by plane or by train? Fiona prefers to travel by train. What is Oscar's favorite thing about traveling? Oscar's favorite thing about traveling is trying new food. Why does Fiona learn Spanish? Fiona learns Spanish for her trip to Spain. How does Oscar find his way in a new city? Oscar uses a map to find his way in a new city. What does Fiona buy as souvenirs? Fiona buys postcards and magnets as souvenirs. Why does Oscar like to visit museums? Oscar likes to visit museums to learn about history. What is Fiona's favorite beach destination? Fiona's favorite beach destination is Miami. How does Oscar save money for his trips? Oscar saves money by working part-time and budgeting. What is the best season to visit London, according to Fiona? Fiona thinks the best season to visit London is spring. Why does Oscar prefer hotels over hostels? Oscar prefers hotels because they are more comfortable. How long did Fiona's last European trip last? Fiona's last European trip lasted 2 weeks. What does Oscar always bring back from his travels? Oscar always brings back photos and memories from his travels.
Building basics, a day in the life of a construction worker. Who builds houses? Construction workers build houses. What does a construction worker wear? A construction worker wears a hard hat and safety gear. Where do construction workers work? They work on construction sites. What tools does a construction worker use? A construction worker uses hammers, drills, and saws. Why is safety important in construction? Safety is important to prevent accidents. When do construction workers start their day? Construction workers often start their day early in the morning. How do you become a skilled construction worker? You become skilled by learning and practicing. What does Oscar do? Oscar works in construction. Where did Fiona learn her construction skills? Fiona learned her skills at a technical school. What is being built in London? A new office building is being built in London. Can construction work be dangerous? Yes, it can be dangerous without proper safety measures. What is the tallest building Oscar has worked on? Oscar has worked on a skyscraper. Why did Fiona choose construction? Fiona chose construction because she likes building things. How long does it take to build a house? It takes several months to build a house. What material is often used in construction? Concrete is often used in construction. Who designs the buildings? Architects design the buildings. What is craftsmanship in construction? Craftsmanship is the skill and quality in building work. Why do construction workers wear bright vests? They wear bright vests to be easily seen for safety. Can women be construction workers? Yes, women can be construction workers. What new building is being constructed in New York? A new cultural center is being constructed in New York.
Time talks, a friendly English conversation between Oscar and Linda. Excuse me, do you have the time? My watch seems to be acting up.
Sure, it's exactly 12 o'clock.
Perfect, thanks. I have a meeting at 1, and I was worried I'd be late.
You have plenty of time then. Are you meeting someone here in the park?
No, it's at a cafe nearby. I just like to walk through the park before meetings. Helps clear my head.
I know what you mean. This park is perfect for a peaceful stroll. I come here often to read or just relax.
That sounds lovely. I'm Oscar, by the way.
I'm Linda. Nice to meet you, Oscar.
Likewise, Linda.
So, Oscar, what do you do? I hope I'm not keeping you from preparing for your meeting.
Oh, no, not at all. I work as a graphic designer. Today's meeting is actually with a new client. What about you, Linda?
I'm a teacher. I teach English at a local language school. It's always rewarding to see my students' progress.
That's fantastic. Learning a language can open so many doors.
Absolutely. It's not just about grammar and vocabulary, it's about connecting with different cultures and people.
Couldn't agree more. Speaking of which, have you traveled to any English-speaking countries?
Yes, I've been to England and Canada. Each trip was an incredible experience, especially from a linguistic perspective.
I've always wanted to visit Canada. What was your favorite part?
The natural landscapes are breathtaking. And the people are so friendly. Have you traveled much?
A bit here and there. I've been to a few countries in Europe. Traveling always gives me new ideas for my designs.
That's the beauty of exploring new places. It inspires creativity.
Exactly. Oh, look at the time. I should head to my meeting. It was really nice talking to you, Linda.
Likewise, Oscar. Good luck with your meeting.
Thanks. Maybe I'll see you around the park again.
I hope so. Have a great day.
Beginner's Guide to English for Travel, Essential Phrases and Tips. Where is Oscar going on his holiday? Oscar is going to London for his holiday. What does Fiona like to do in her free time? Fiona likes to travel and see new places. How often does Oscar go to the cinema? Oscar goes to the cinema once a month. What is Fiona's favorite city to visit in Europe? Fiona's favorite city to visit in Europe is Paris. Why do people travel to different countries? People travel to learn about new cultures and enjoy different experiences. Can Oscar speak French? No, Oscar can only speak English. What does Fiona pack in her suitcase for a trip? Fiona packs clothes, a camera, and a map in her suitcase. Where did Oscar go on his last vacation? Oscar went to New York on his last vacation. How does Fiona prefer to travel, by plane or by train? Fiona prefers to travel by train. What is Oscar's favorite thing about traveling? Oscar's favorite thing about traveling is trying new food. Why does Fiona learn Spanish? Fiona learns Spanish for her trip to Spain. How does Oscar find his way in a new city? Oscar uses a map to find his way in a new city. What does Fiona buy as souvenirs? Fiona buys postcards and magnets as souvenirs. Why does Oscar like to visit museums? Oscar likes to visit museums to learn about history. What is Fiona's favorite beach destination? Fiona's favorite beach destination is Miami. How does Oscar save money for his trips? Oscar saves money by working part-time and budgeting. What is the best season to visit London, according to Fiona? Fiona thinks the best season to visit London is spring. Why does Oscar prefer hotels over hostels? Oscar prefers hotels because they are more comfortable. How long did Fiona's last European trip last? Fiona's last European trip lasted 2 weeks. What does Oscar always bring back from his travels? Oscar always brings back photos and memories from his travels.
Business basics, turning ideas into income. What is money? Money is something we use to buy goods and services. How do we earn money? We earn money by working in jobs or running businesses. What is a budget? A budget is a plan for spending and saving money. Why is saving money important? Saving money is important for future needs and emergencies. What is a bank? A bank is a place where we keep our money safe. What does an entrepreneur do? An entrepreneur starts and runs their own business. How do companies make profits? Companies make profits by selling their products or services for more than they cost to make. What is an investment? An investment is putting money into something to make more money in the future. Why do people start businesses? People start businesses to make money and bring their ideas to life. What is a salary? A salary is the money a person earns from their job. What is marketing? Marketing is how companies promote and sell their products. How do you create a business plan? You create a business plan by outlining your business idea, goals, and strategies. What is online shopping? Online shopping is buying things over the internet. Why do prices change? Prices change because of supply and demand or economic factors. What is a loan? A loan is borrowed money that you have to pay back with interest. How does advertising affect sales? Advertising can increase sales by telling more people about a product. What is a customer? A customer is someone who buys goods or services. Why is customer service important? Good customer service keeps customers happy and returning. What is a credit card? A credit card lets you buy things now and pay for them later. Why do businesses compete? Businesses compete to attract more customers and make more profits. 20 Basic English Sentences. Part 1. Eric saved money to buy a new car. Agatha invested in stocks to grow her wealth. In the UK, many businesses accept credit cards. Eric learned about budgeting to manage his expenses. Agatha opened a savings account in a Canadian bank. In France, starting a business requires legal paperwork. Eric donated some money to a charity in Australia. Agatha bought a coffee machine for her office in Germany. The USA is known for its diverse market opportunities. Eric trades currencies online as a side business. In Ireland, Agatha attended a seminar on entrepreneurship. Saving money helps Eric in times of emergency. Agatha learned about taxes from a book she bought in Italy. In New Zealand, many small businesses start as family ventures. Eric uses a finance app to track his spending. Agatha's company in Spain focuses on eco-friendly products. Understanding interest rates is important for Eric's loan. In Sweden, Agatha found a course on digital marketing. A good business plan helped Eric secure a loan in the Netherlands. Agatha uses social media to promote her business in Belgium. 20 Basic English Sentences. Part 2. Eric saves money to buy a new bike. Agatha invests in stocks to grow her wealth. In the UK, many people use credit cards for shopping. Eric learned about budgeting in his business class. Agatha started her own bakery in France. In Canada, tipping is common in restaurants. Eric checks his bank account online every day. The exchange rate affects prices in international trade. Agatha prefers using cash instead of digital payments. In Ireland, Eric learned how to manage a small business. A good marketing strategy boosts sales. Agatha tracks her expenses using a mobile app. In Australia, many businesses focus on sustainability. Eric reads financial news to stay informed. Profit and loss are key concepts in business. Agatha attended a networking event in Germany. In the USA, customer service is crucial for business success. Eric discusses investment options with his advisor. Online shopping is growing rapidly worldwide. Agatha uses social media for business promotion. I hope these examples are useful for your English learning. Thanks for watching.
Reminiscing the old days, a heartfelt conversation. Hello, Bianca. It's been ages since we last met. How have you been?
Hi, Albert. I'm doing well, thank you. It's so good to see you after all these years. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Living in London has been quite an adventure. What about you? I heard you moved to Paris for a while.
Yes, I lived in Paris for a few years. It was a dream come true, but I'm back in the UK now. There's something about this place that always draws me back.
I can imagine. Paris must have been amazing. Do you remember our student days in Edinburgh? How we used to explore the city.
Oh, those were the days. Edinburgh was so magical with its historic streets and vibrant culture. We had some great times.
Absolutely. Speaking of great times, do you remember that road trip we took to the Lake District?
How could I forget? The scenic drives, the beautiful lakes, and the hiking. It was an unforgettable experience.
Indeed, it was. And the time we spent in Dublin, exploring the Irish countryside and enjoying the local music and dance.
Dublin was incredible. The warmth of the people there and the lively atmosphere in the pubs, it was something else.
It's amazing how travel and experiencing different cultures can enrich our lives.
True. Each place had its unique charm and lessons to teach us. Speaking of which, have you traveled anywhere else recently?
Last year, I went to New York. The energy of that city is something you have to experience at least once.
New York is on my list too. The idea of visiting the Big Apple is always exciting.
Definitely. So, what's next for you? Any plans for more adventures?
Well, I've been thinking about visiting Italy. The art, the history, the food, it's calling my name.
Italy sounds fantastic. You'll have an amazing time. It's great catching up with you and reminiscing about the good old days.
It really is. Let's not wait another decade before we meet again.
Agreed. Let's keep in touch more often. Take care, Bianca.
You too, Albert. Have a wonderful day.
Daily routine in English simple examples. Does Simon brush his teeth every morning? Yes, Simon brushes his teeth every morning. What does Olivia do after she wakes up? After she wakes up, Olivia drinks a glass of water. Where does Simon buy his groceries? Simon buys his groceries at the local supermarket in London. How often does Olivia exercise? Olivia exercises 3 times a week. What time does Simon usually have breakfast? Simon usually has breakfast at 7:30 a.m. Does Olivia read a book before bed? Yes, Olivia reads a book before bed every night. How does Simon get to work in New York? Simon takes the subway to get to work in New York. What does Olivia cook for dinner? Olivia often cooks pasta for dinner. Where does Simon like to have his coffee? Simon likes to have his coffee at a cafe in Paris. What type of movies does Olivia enjoy watching? Olivia enjoys watching romantic comedies. Everyday conversations. Basic English. Does Simon watch TV in the evening? Yes, Simon watches TV in the evening. How does Olivia travel to Berlin? Olivia travels to Berlin by train. What does Simon do on weekends? On weekends, Simon goes for a walk in the park. Who does Olivia meet for lunch on Sundays? Olivia meets her friends for lunch on Sundays. What kind of music does Simon listen to? Simon listens to pop music. Where does Olivia buy her clothes? Olivia buys her clothes at a shopping mall in Dublin. What time does Simon start his work? Simon starts his work at 9 a.m. How does Olivia relax after work? Olivia relaxes by doing yoga after work. Where does Simon go on his vacations? Simon goes to beaches in Australia on his vacations. Does Olivia like to garden? Yes, Olivia likes to garden in her backyard. Simple English for daily activities. What does Simon eat for lunch? Simon eats a sandwich for lunch. Why does Olivia visit the museum in Rome? Olivia visits the museum in Rome to see historical art. When does Simon go to bed? Simon goes to bed at 11 p.m. What does Olivia do on her phone? Olivia checks her emails on her phone. Where does Simon spend his Christmas holidays? Simon spends his Christmas holidays in Canada with his family. Does Olivia like to swim? Yes, Olivia likes to swim at the beach in summer. What language is Simon learning? Simon is learning to speak Spanish. How often does Olivia visit her grandparents? Olivia visits her grandparents once a month. Where does Simon walk his dog? Simon walks his dog in the park near his house in Sydney. Does Olivia like to cook? Yes, Olivia likes to cook Italian dishes.
A boat adventure, simple English conversation between Cedric and Jessica. Hey Jessica, how are you today?
Hi, Cedric. I'm doing well, thanks. How about you?
I'm great. Did you hear about my new boat?
Your new boat? No, I didn't. Tell me more.
It's a beautiful, big yacht. I just got it last week.
Wow, that sounds amazing. What color is it?
It's white with blue stripes. It looks great on the water.
I bet it does. Have you taken it out to sea yet?
Yes, I went on a short trip last weekend. It was so peaceful.
That sounds lovely. How big is the boat?
It's quite big. It can comfortably fit 10 people.
10 people? That's really big. Do you plan to go on more trips?
Definitely. I'm actually planning a trip this weekend. Would you like to come?
Oh, I'd love to. What should I bring?
Just some casual clothes and maybe a hat. I'll take care of the food and drinks.
Great. What time are we leaving?
Let's meet at the marina at 9 a.m. on Saturday.
Perfect. I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, it's going to be fun. I can't wait to show you the yacht.
Me too. I've never been on a yacht before.
You're going to love it. It's so relaxing to be out on the water.
I can imagine. I'll see you on Saturday then.
Yes, see you then. Have a great week, Jessica.
You too, Cedric. Bye.
Understanding traffic rules and pedestrian safety. Hi Jennifer. I noticed you were looking at the new traffic signs by the crosswalk.
Hey, George. Yes, I was. It's great to see these new signs and signals being put up for pedestrian safety.
Absolutely. It's so important, especially in a busy area like this. Do you think these changes will make a difference?
I hope so. Pedestrian safety is crucial. The crosswalk lights and clear signs should help a lot.
Yeah, I agree. It's all about making the road safer for everyone. Have you seen the new push-button signals for crossing?
Yes, I've just tried one. They're very user-friendly. You just press the button and wait for the signal to change.
That's a good feature. It makes crossing the street much safer, especially for children and the elderly.
True. And educating people about traffic rules is also key. I think schools should emphasize this more.
Definitely. Speaking of which, did you learn about road safety in school?
A bit, but it was pretty basic. How about you?
Same here. Most of what I learned about road safety came from my parents and driving lessons.
It's interesting how we often learn these important life skills outside of the classroom.
It is. And with technology evolving, traffic systems are becoming more advanced too.
That's right. Have you seen those new smart traffic lights that adjust timing based on traffic flow?
Yes, they're amazing. They help reduce congestion and improve traffic efficiency.
Indeed. It's fascinating how technology can enhance our safety on the roads.
Absolutely. I hope these advancements continue. Well, it was great talking to you about this, Jennifer.
Likewise, George. Stay safe and take care.
You too, see you around.
Business basics, turning ideas into income. What is money? Money is something we use to buy goods and services. How do we earn money? We earn money by working in jobs or running businesses. What is a budget? A budget is a plan for spending and saving money. Why is saving money important? Saving money is important for future needs and emergencies. What is a bank? A bank is a place where we keep our money safe. What does an entrepreneur do? An entrepreneur starts and runs their own business. How do companies make profits? Companies make profits by selling their products or services for more than they cost to make. What is an investment? An investment is putting money in.
Essential English for air travel. Learn key phrases. What is an airplane? An airplane is a vehicle that flies in the sky. Where do airplanes take off and land? Airplanes take off and land at airports. Who flies the airplane? A pilot flies the airplane. What do you need to board an airplane? You need a ticket to board an airplane. Where do you wait for your flight at the airport? You wait in the departure lounge. What is a boarding pass? A boarding pass is a document that allows you to get on the plane. Who checks your ticket at the airport? The gate agent checks your ticket. Where do you sit on the airplane? You sit in your assigned seat. Who serves food and drinks on the plane? The flight attendant serves food and drinks. What do you do before the plane takes off? You fasten your seatbelt before the plane takes off. What is the place where you collect your bags at the airport? You collect your bags at the baggage claim. Who checks your passport at the airport? The immigration officer checks your passport. What is a layover? A layover is a short stay at an airport between flights. Where can you find information about your flight at the airport? You can find information on the departure board. Who helps you with your luggage at the airport? The porter helps you with your luggage. What do you need to pass through security at the airport? You need your ID and boarding pass to pass through security. What is a direct flight? A direct flight goes from one place to another without stopping. Where can you buy food and drinks at the airport? You can buy food and drinks at the airport cafe. Who helps the passengers on the airplane? The flight attendants help the passengers. Where do you check in for your flight? You check in at the airport. What do you need to board the airplane? You need a boarding pass. What do you do at the security checkpoint? You show your ID and boarding pass. Where do you wait for your flight? You wait at the gate. How do you know your flight time? You check the flight schedule. What do you do during takeoff? You fasten your seatbelt. What do you do if you need help on the airplane? You call a flight attendant.
What do you hear when the plane is about to land? You hear an announcement. What do you see out the window during the flight? You see clouds and the sky. What do you call the place where you wait to board the airplane? It is called the waiting lounge. What should you do with your electronic devices during takeoff and landing? You should turn them off or put them in airplane mode. Where can you find the emergency exits on the airplane? You can find them at the front, middle, and back of the airplane.
Quality conversation, a wonderful trip to London. Hi Barbara. How was your weekend?
Hi Owen. My weekend was amazing. I went on a wonderful trip to London.
That sounds fantastic. What did you do in London?
We visited a lot of famous places. We started with the Tower of London.
Wow! The Tower of London is so historic. Did you see the crown jewels?
Yes, we did. They were incredible. So many sparkling jewels.
What else did you see?
We also visited the British Museum. It's so big. We saw many ancient artifacts.
That sounds interesting. Did you visit Buckingham Palace?
Yes, we did. We even saw the changing of the guard. It was very impressive.
Did you go to the London Eye?
Yes, we went there in the evening. The view from the top was amazing, especially with all the city lights.
That sounds beautiful. Did you try any local food?
Yes, we tried fish and chips. It was delicious. We also had some traditional English tea.
Did you go to any shows or events?
Yes, we went to a West End show. We saw a musical. It was so entertaining and fun.
I love musicals. Which one did you see?
We saw The Lion King. The costumes and music were fantastic.
I have heard great things about that show. Did you do any shopping?
Yes, we went shopping on Oxford Street. There were so many shops and people.
Did you buy anything special?
I bought some souvenirs and a few clothes. It was a great shopping experience.
Did you have time to visit any parks?
Yes, we spent a lovely afternoon in Hyde Park. It was very relaxing and beautiful.
Hyde Park is so nice. Did you ride the boats on the Serpentine?
Yes, we did. It was so much fun. We also had a picnic by the lake.
It sounds like you had a perfect trip. How long were you in London?
We were there for 5 days. It was just the right amount of time to see everything.
I'm glad you had such a great time. I hope I can visit London someday.
You definitely should, Owen. It's a wonderful city with so much to see and do. You will love it.
Thanks, Barbara. I will start planning my trip soon.
That's a great idea. Let me know if you need any tips or advice.
I will. Thanks, Barbara.
You're welcome, Owen. Have a great day.
You too, Barbara.
Around the World with Basic English, A beginner's guide to travel phrases. Where is Simon going next? Simon is going to Canada next. What does Barbara pack for her trip? Barbara packs her camera and a map. Why does Simon travel? Simon travels to learn new cultures. How does Barbara choose her next destination? Barbara chooses by reading travel blogs. When does Simon prefer to travel? Simon prefers to travel in summer. What food does Barbara try in Italy? Barbara tries pizza in Italy. Who travels with Simon to Australia? Simon's friend travels with him. Where did Barbara find the best coffee? Barbara found the best coffee in Brazil. How many countries has Simon visited? Simon has visited 10 countries. What souvenir does Barbara collect from France? Barbara collects postcards. Why does Simon love London? Simon loves the museums in London. What language is Barbara learning for her trip? Barbara is learning Spanish. Which beach did Simon like the most? Simon liked the beach in Spain the most. How does Barbara get around in new cities? Barbara uses the subway. What was Simon's favorite part of visiting Japan? Simon loved the temples in Japan. Where does Barbara stay when she travels? Barbara stays in hostels. What does Simon do on long flights? Simon reads travel guides. Why does Barbara keep a travel journal? Barbara keeps a journal to remember her trips. How does Simon decide on his travel plans? Simon decides by looking at maps. What was the most interesting thing Barbara saw in Germany? Barbara saw the Berlin Wall. I hope these examples are useful for your English learning. Thanks for watching.
Discover new hobbies and English conversation. Hi Jennifer, you seem quite relaxed these days. What's your secret?
Hi, Thomas. Honestly, I've been spending more time on my hobbies. It really helps to unwind. How about you? What hobbies do you have?
I'm into reading and occasionally hiking. But I've been looking for something new. What do you enjoy doing in your free time?
Besides reading, I love painting and trying out new recipes. Cooking is quite therapeutic for me.
That sounds interesting. I've always wanted to try painting, but I'm not sure I'd be good at it.
Oh, it's not about being good or bad, Thomas. It's about expressing yourself and enjoying the process. You should give it a try.
Maybe I will. And cooking, huh? What's your favorite dish to prepare?
I enjoy making Italian food. There's something about pasta dishes that's just so comforting. What about you? Any favorite dishes you like to make or eat?
I'm more of a barbecue guy. Love grilling whenever I get the chance. But Italian does sound tempting. Maybe you can share some recipes?
Absolutely, I'd love to. And I'd like to learn more about grilling too. Maybe we could exchange tips?
That sounds like a great idea. And speaking of trying new things, have you taken up any new hobbies recently?
Yes, actually. I've started gardening. It's quite rewarding to grow your own vegetables and flowers.
Gardening, huh? That's one I haven't considered. Sounds like a peaceful activity.
It really is. Plus, it gets you outdoors. You should come over sometime. I can show you the basics.
I'd like that. Thanks, Jennifer. It's great to learn about different hobbies. Maybe we can start a hobby club.
I love that idea, Thomas. Let's do it. It'll be fun to share our hobbies with others and maybe learn a few new ones along the way.
Agreed. Thanks for the chat, Jennifer. I'm looking forward to our new adventures.
Same here, Thomas. Take care and see you soon.
What animals live at the North Pole? Polar bears live at the North Pole. What animals live at the South Pole? Penguins live at the South Pole. What animals live near the equator? Monkeys and parrots live near the equator. Do people live at the poles? Very few people live at the poles. What do people wear at the poles? People wear thick, warm clothes at the poles. Do plants grow at the poles? Very few plants grow at the poles. Do plants grow near the equator? Yes, many plants grow near the equator. What is the weather like at the poles? The weather is very cold and snowy at the poles. What is the weather like near the equator? The weather is hot and often raining near the equator.
What do you eat for breakfast? I eat cereal and milk for breakfast. How do you go to work or school? I go to work by bus. What time do you start work or school? I start work at 9 a.m. Where is the Eiffel Tower? The Eiffel Tower is in Paris. What time do you go to bed? I go to bed at 10 p.m. Where do you work? I work at a bank. Do you speak English? Yes, I speak English. What is your favorite sport? My favorite sport is football. What is your favorite food? My favorite food is pasta. Where do you study? I study at Harvard University. Do you like coffee or tea? I like tea. How often do you exercise? I exercise 3 times a week. Where do you usually go on vacation? I usually go to London on vacation. Do you like to cook? Yes, I like to cook. What do you like to cook? I like to cook pasta. Who is your best friend? My best friend is Emily. Where does Emily live? Emily lives in Los Angeles.
Snowy Day Reflections, a cozy English conversation. Look at the snow covering the garden, Beatrix. It's like a white blanket.
It truly is beautiful, Richard. Everything looks so peaceful.
Yes, and the way the snowflakes dance before they touch the ground, it's mesmerizing.
I've always loved how a snowy day can make everything look so different, almost magical.
Speaking of magic, have you noticed how quiet it gets when it snows? It's as if the world is holding its breath.
Absolutely. It's the perfect time for a cup of hot chocolate and a good book, don't you think?
That sounds like a wonderful idea. What book are you currently reading?
I'm reading a novel about a journey through the mountains in winter. Quite fitting, isn't it?
Indeed, it is. I'm more into historical books myself. Learning about the past while watching the present covered in snow adds a certain depth to the experience.
It does. And speaking of learning, I find that snowy days are perfect for reflecting on personal growth.
That's a thoughtful perspective. The silence and calmness of snow do lend themselves to introspection.
Yes, they do. And what about you? Do snowy days inspire you to reflect on anything specific?
They remind me of the importance of slowing down and appreciating the moment. We often get caught up in the hustle and bustle of daily life.
That's very true. It's moments like these, looking out at the snowy garden, that remind us to cherish the simple things.
Well said, Beatrix. Let's make the most of this day. How about we start with that hot chocolate?
I'd love that. Let's add some marshmallows to make it extra special.
Perfect. Here's to enjoying the simple pleasures and the beauty of a snowy day.
Cheers to that, Richard.
Basic English questions and answers for beginners. What do you eat for breakfast? I eat cereal and milk for breakfast. How do you go to work or school? I go to work by bus. What time do you start work or school? I start work at 9 a.m. Where is the Eiffel Tower? The Eiffel Tower is in Paris. What time do you go to bed? I go to bed at 10 p.m. Where do you work? I work at a bank. Do you speak English? Yes, I speak English. What is your favorite sport? My favorite sport is football. What is your favorite food? My favorite food is pasta. Where do you study? I study at Harvard University. Do you like coffee or tea? I like tea. How often do you exercise? I exercise 3 times a week. Where do you usually go on vacation? I usually go to London on vacation. Do you like to cook? Yes, I like to cook. What do you like to cook? I like to cook pasta. Who is your best friend? My best friend is Emily. Where does Emily live? Emily lives in Los Angeles. Where do you work? I work at Lincoln High School. What do you like about your job? I like teaching students. What do you do on weekends? I go hiking on weekends.
Where is the nearest metro station? Real-life English conversation. Excuse me, could you please tell me where the nearest metro station is?
Oh, sure. The closest one is about a 10-minute walk from here. Are you new to the city?
Yes, I just arrived a couple of days ago. I'm still trying to figure out the transportation system.
I understand, it can be quite confusing at first. You'll need to head down the street, then take a left at the traffic lights.
All right, down this street and then a left at the lights. Got it. Is it a direct line to the city center?
Yes, it is. Once you get on the metro, it's only a few stops to the city center.
That sounds easy enough. How often do the trains run?
During the day, they run every 5 to 10 minutes, so you won't have to wait long.
Perfect. And how about tickets? Where can I buy them?
There's a ticket machine at the station entrance. It's user-friendly and has instructions in several languages.
Great. Do you use the metro often?
Almost every day. It's fast and convenient, especially during rush hour.
It does seem like a practical option. I might use it as my main mode of transport while I'm here.
Definitely a good choice. Oh, and there's a mobile app that shows live updates and station maps. It could be really useful for you.
That's very helpful. I'll be sure to download it. Thank you so much for your help, Nancy.
You're welcome, Oscar. Enjoy your time in the city and feel free to ask if you need more help.
Thanks, I will. Have a great day.
You too, take care.
Essential English, master basic words with simple questions and answers. What is a book? A book is something you read. Is this an apple? Yes, this is an apple. Can you define ability? Ability means the skill to do something. Is he able to swim? Yes, he is able to swim. What is the book about? The book is about history. Are you absolutely sure? Yes, I am absolutely sure. What is a car? A car is a vehicle with 4 wheels. Do you have an idea? Yes, I have an idea. Does she have the ability to sing? Yes, she has the ability to sing. Is he able to come to the party? Yes, he is able to come to the party. What is the movie about? The movie is about space travel. Is this absolutely necessary? Yes, it is absolutely necessary. What is a cat? A cat is an animal that purrs. Do you see an airplane? Yes, I see an airplane. Does he have the ability to fix cars? Yes, he has the ability to fix cars. Are you able to help me? Yes, I am able to help you. What is the story about? The story is about friendship. Is this absolutely true? Yes, this is absolutely true. What is a house? A house is a place where people live. Do you have an umbrella? Yes, I have an umbrella. Are you able to speak French fluently? Yes, I am able to speak French fluently. Tell me about your experience studying abroad. I have studied abroad in London for 1 year. Do you absolutely need to finish your homework tonight? Yes, I absolutely need to finish my homework tonight. Is it necessary to bring a pen to the exam? Yes, it is necessary to bring a pen to the exam. Can you come to the party tonight? Unfortunately, I am unable to come to the party tonight. How many apples are in the basket? There are 5 apples in the basket. Where is the nearest library? The nearest library is located in the city center. Have you ever visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris? Yes, I have visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Have you ever been to New York City? No, I have never been to New York City. Are you planning to travel to Japan next year? Yes, I am planning to travel to Japan next year.
Speak English confidently, essential guide to asking and giving directions. 20 basic English sentences on giving directions. How do I get to the nearest subway station? Go straight down this road, and the subway station is on your left. Where is the nearest bus stop from here? The nearest bus stop is 2 blocks away, right next to the post office. Could you tell me the way to Central?